at the beginning that we would have to try a couple different strategic avenues. So we started off thinking this retail channel, that's right for us. So we tested it out. We killed it. The revenue was incredible. Margins, not so much.
Bantam Bagels has just been acquired for $34 million by T. Marzetti.
This is the kind of deal that every entrepreneur dreams of.
And those, my friends, are the bookends of an American success story. From a booming bagel business to a Shark Tank deal, selling out on QVC and being named one of Oprah's favorite things, to being sold in over 10,000 grocery stores, Starbucks nationwide. It was quite a ride for Bantam Bagels co-founder Elyse Oleksak. She writes all about it in the new business book, A Shark Ate My Bagel, and she joins us now in studio. Wonderful to have you in studio. It was a terrific book. My children could not believe for the first time in years, finished a book, didn't just start it. That's the ultimate compliment. So, a Shark Tank deal, they get so much hype. The truth about them, positive, negative, what was your experience?
On Shark Tank was absolutely incredible, and it actually is a Shark Tank. You walk down that aisle and you better be ready because you hit your mark and it's go time. Unscripted, say your pitch and the deal is the deal, the conversation is the conversation.
It's remarkable to see the journey you took with Lori, who gave you a deal and stuck with you there, as we can see. So this was not a book to take a bow. It was raw, unfiltered. It was exhilarating. It was debilitating as well, and you write about that. You say, floundering in a volatile world, fueled by an explosive drive to take control over my own destiny, my husband and I risked everything for the pursuit of the American dream. The highs, the lows, we sacrificed mind, body, and time to make our dream come true. What did you want the reader to take away from this book?
So my goal in this book was for the entrepreneur, the business person, to finally have a book that speaks to you, that speaks to what's really going on behind the scenes, the feet that are, under the duck feet that are swimming underneath the pond. It's not just the successes that we always talk about in the media or on our social media, let's be honest. It's the struggles, the symbiotic relationship between every success and each failure, where you really, truly, to move forward and grow, you need to learn how to fall down, break your back, stand back up, dust off your knees, get on the end line, and sprint again. And that's the true life of an entrepreneur. For me, there's a myriad of stories in here, of which I think is what kept the pages turning for you, about getting a deal at Starbucks and then nearly losing that deal because of plastic that was too stretchy, or getting our bagels finally on the grocery shelf and then showing up to our first grocery store with those same frozen bagels sitting in an ambient cooler. It's nothing but one success followed by one failure, and that's the true life of building a business. It should be inspirational for those who are going through building a business in any way, shape, or form, because you realize that there are ways to learn and grow and move forward from that, and that we're all doing those mistakes. It
was inspirational. I have an entrepreneurial itch, and it made my desire 10x. But there were times that I was devastated with you, some of the pain that you went through. But you also write about 5 key lessons that you really learned and employed, and they are: no substitute for hard work. If you want control, you have to take risk. Hustle overrides expertise. You mentioned number 5, which is all about failure. Number 4, human connection is the driving force behind all successes. What do you mean by that? And if people aren't good at that human connection part, should they not start a business?
To me, the word networking is a buzzy word, but networking is nothing but an exchange of business cards. What truly moves the needle in business is the connections that you make, whether it's with someone like you, who is the host of a popular Cheddar TV show, or whether it's a customer who comes to your store every day and spends that $5 on your product. But each and every person who takes a flyer on your business, who says yes, who lines up down the street in 6th Avenue looking for your bagels, it's those connections that actually serve to fuel the problem solving when they do show up. So you know, when, let's just say, you have a Shark Tank business, and when you're on Shark Tank, your website crashes, and every dollar that you've invested in your inventory is unavailable for sale because your website just crashed. Who are you calling? Do you have human connection available that you can call on? We called Lori Grenier. She tweeted out for us. We sent individual emails and responses on Facebook and email to every single person who was trying to buy our bagels but couldn't. And guess what? Because of all those efforts, because of that connection and being genuine and true in those connections, everyone came back. And we were a national Twitter trend, and we had the lines down the street in New York City.
Yeah.
So it's that X factor that people don't necessarily consider coming out of business school or when they're drawing up a business plan. But
I would tell people this is everything they don't teach you in business school about building a brand, and it's
Right.
really honest in that regard. In fact, even the selling of the company, and it later was shuttered really because of COVID, you say what hides underneath the surface of being an entrepreneur is the cataclysmic impossibility of keeping the business alive by yourself. We created this baby, and for the sake of that baby's future, we put it up for adoption, which must have been painful. What advice would you give yourself when you go back to the beginning of this journey, learning everything you have about the entrepreneurial process?
oh my, I don't know that you should know too much as an entrepreneur. I have learned that people who already know how things are done or have the, the guide outlined
Yeah.
are not quite willing to explode and burst and take that risk, either because the creativity is stifled because they already know what's transpired and how to do it, or they're too scared because the risk is enormous and daunting. When you do come in green and bold and just invigorated by a light bulb flash of genius, you reinvent the wheel. You come up with new ways to do things that had never been done before. And that is what creates these channels of creative new ways to eat a bagel, or creative new ways to market, or creative ways to connect with Starbucks. Nobody else had ever achieved a nationwide placement in Starbucks in their bakery case. But we did, because we approached it differently. We visited every single Starbucks, 550 Starbucks before and we met in multiple cities. We brought our baby with us. We took selfies everywhere. We shared our story and we connected, and we did things just creative, off the cuff, the way we would do it.
You gave all of yourself to this company. I'm curious, before we go, advice or word of warning about doing business having your spouse be your business partner?
Make sure you're willing to have your work and life coexist. And it only works if your to-do list is feed the baby, process the PO, register for camp, and make sure the trucks are on time. So why it works is because oftentimes spouses have competing priorities. Why are you there? You're not back for me. I need to get the kids this way. You're not here to help. But for us, all of our priorities were packaged together. So it actually did work out. I would encourage those who are willing to work with their spouse. It worked.
It's truly remarkable. It's the unvarnished truth about building a brand. It's a shark ate my bagel. Bantam Bagels co-founder Elyse Oleksak, thanks so much for being here. It's a terrific book. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Glad you're enjoying some downtime for once.